Is Brandon Moreno done as a serious contender in the UFC's flyweight division? It seems that that is the case, and it's obviously a very disappointing situation as an MMA fan, as a Brandon Moreno fan. But the writing is on the wall for Brandon Moreno that he might be done as a true contender in the flyweight division. We're going to talk about it right here. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Combat Corner, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I am your host, Rudy Rodriguez. Showmont. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell. Leave your comments. Follow us on our social media platform, Instagram, Combat Corner Fight Network. Jump on board our chats. We appreciate your support of the channel. Brandon Moreno had a big fight this past weekend in Mexico City against Lone'er Kavanagh. He was a 2-1 favorite in this fight, and Kavanagh went into his hood, into his country, and he went on over there and beat the former two-time flyweight champion. And now you have to wonder out loud, quite frankly, is this the end of Brandon Moreno? Moreno has lost 3 of his last 5 fights. He has lost 2 in a row. And he lost to a guy who got beat by Charles Johnson via knockout in round 2 in Shanghai, China, back in August of 2025. Charles Johnson is 18-8 in MMA. Charles Johnson has lost 2 of his last 3 fights to Ramazan Temirov and Alex Perez. The only one he has is over Lone'er Kavanagh in between those 2 fights. And we are now sitting here looking at a situation where Brandon Moreno is realistically on the backside of his career. Just don't see any which way that Brandon Moreno can get back into any conversation as far as being a contender in the flyweight division. Every fighter runs its course. Every fighter goes through these situations, unless your name is John Jones. But every fighter typically goes to this point, hits this point where they just don't have it anymore. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think Brandon Moreno has it anymore. And I'm a fan. I love watching Brandon Moreno fight. You know, when he first came into the UFC, he looked like McLovin from, what was that movie called? Superbad? I think that was the name of the movie. But he looks like he's aged. He's only 32, but he looks like he's aged a lot. And he has a lot of fights. He's got 35 fights at 32. And this is a fight that he was supposed to win. This is a fight that he lost on one card 4-1. And there wasn't anyone who thought he won this fight. When you even go to MMA decisions and where people give their opinions on fights, on who they think won, there isn't, I mean, you know, you have the only round that Moreno won on all three cards was round 3. Beyond that, he lost the first 2 rounds on every card. He won round 4 on one card. He won round 5 on the other card. So depending on how you saw it, again, at best, he was 3-2. He lost 3-2, 48-47. Not a singular. There's one media member that gave it to Moreno, Christian Stein. Don't know what he saw in this fight, but he gave it to Moreno. Let's see what he did specific, how he picked this fight. So He gave Kavanagh the first two. He gave Moreno the last three. Interesting. Yeah, he's the only one from Sherdog that gave Moreno the last 3 rounds. Everyone else gave him, it was 2-2 and then going into the 5th. But of these media members, you got one that gave it 5-0 to Kavanagh. One was 49-45. I saw some that thought the round 2 was a 10-8 round. Kavanagh got 49-46s on a lot of cards and 48-47s on 6 of the media members listed here on MMA decisions. If you look at the opinions of fans, I mean, you got 38.2%. Wow, there's 38.2% gave this fight to Moreno, which I find crazy. Again, I'm a fan of Moreno. And 62% gave it to Kavanagh, whether between 49-46, 48-47, 49-45, or 50-45. So, yeah, there wasn't a whole lot. You know, fans are fans, and they give interesting cards now and again. They have interesting opinions, but it's I think it's run its course with Brandon Moreno. He is. I don't even know if he's a gatekeeper now. I don't know that he's even a gatekeeper. This is a guy who. Let me find it right here. Again, he's lost 3 of 5. 32. He's lost. He got crushed by Tatsuro Taira, who's fighting for the belt in April against Joshua Van. He beat Steve Ursig. He beat Amir Albazi. That was going back into 24. Got beat by Brandon Royval. Got beat by Alexandre Pantoja. So he's 2-4 in his last 6. Look, he's fighting the best guys. But Kavanagh is not one of the best guys. That's where it becomes a problem. It's not like losing to Tatsu Taira is a problem or an embarrassment. It's not like losing to whoever else. Like, it's not like losing to, Roy Val's an embarrassment. It's not like losing to Pantoja is an embarrassment. But when you lose to a guy who lost his last fight to Charles Jourdain. Now I will say this. Look, Jourdain has a win over Joshua Van a while ago. But this guy's he's not even ranked in the top 15. Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson does have a win over Joshua Van years ago. But again, you lost to him. You're not ranked in the top 15, and now you come and get a win over Moreno. What does that say about Moreno? I'm not saying Moreno can't beat guys in the top 15. He did he beat Steve Ursig last year. He did beat Amir Albazi in the last 2 years, who's ranked 7th. But can he compete at the top level? Is he even a gatekeeper now? And is that what he wants his career to become? We have to see it. We'll see and find out. Because this is a guy who held the belt twice. He won it over Davison Figueiredo in 2021. He then lost it to Figueiredo. He then won the interim belt against Kai Kara-France in July of 2022. And then he beat Figueiredo again to unify the belt. And then he immediately lost it again. I think Moreno's a fun fighter. He's a Mexican warrior. You love everything about him as a fighter. But I think we have now seen the end of Brandon Moreno as a contender. I don't see him beating anybody in the top 5, whether it's Pantoja, Van, Pantoja. I don't think he'll get a chance at Van. Pantoja, Kopp, Taira, Royval, Horiguchi. He's going to drop in the rankings. Maybe he can beat a guy like Tim Elliott. Maybe he can beat an Alex Perez and Nursing. He's a top 10 guy. But again, that's not even gatekeeper. Gatekeepers are like in the top 5 that can never, at least to me, they're top 5 guys that can never crack through. But Moreno's cracked through. He's busted the door down. He's won the belt. but now he can't beat guys that are not even ranked in the top 15 in his home country. In his home country. That's significant. I don't know, man. I don't know what y'all think. And Kavanagh took this fight on 3 weeks' notice, no less. He was a late replacement for Asu Almabayev, who was ranked 8th, and that was the fight that Moreno was supposed to have. So he's fighting a guy who was a 3-week replacement coming to your country from England, and he does this to you on your home soil. There are people that are calling this is legendary. Legendary moment, according to BBC Sport. And he says he lives from legendary moments. This is a legendary moment for him. Brendan's a legend, 2-time world champ. I'm a big fan. I watched him when I was a kid. To get to fight him is amazing. And look, man, I give this guy a lot of credit. He did his thing. He leg kicked the crap out of him. And now you got to wonder where Moreno's career goes from here. So y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Do you see this as the end of Brendan Moreno or not? As a real contender? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, leave your comments. This is Combat Corner. Power. Come on now, the podcast. Come on now.
Up and down through the blood and the sweat. Guarantee you can know I'm a threat. Up and down through the blood and the sweat. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah, I'm going all in. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah. They know I'm going all in. Through the blood and the sweat, y'all know we ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. I've been down from the jump. Ain't no love lost, we just really doing us. Go and take your seat, looking silly getting up. Y'all know what it is, let me tell them what it was. It was 24/7.